I'm here with Allison Gardiner from the Carbon Group. Allison is our bookkeeper. And as I've done with all our partners, I've got three questions over about 5 minutes, just around cash flow. Thanks for joining me today, Allison.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So Allison, just a quick interview. What does cash flow mean to you?
Cash flow is the difference between a highly stressed operation and one that is smooth and is focused on all the right things in business. If a business is thinking about whether they can pay their bills, then they're not focusing on how to run most efficiently and to forward plan. So for me, cash flow is really that piece that frees up a business owner's mind and lets them focus on the things that are important. Healthy cash flow, that is.
And you'd see a lot of that you'd be managing cash flow all the time with your clients, of course.
Absolutely. And we spend a lot of time training clients on how to watch their own cash too, so that they know which pieces affect the cash, because most businesses don't understand how all pieces fit together to give that full picture of what cash flow really means.
And how can you see the Cash Club helping businesses? I mean, we've taken a little bit of time to do this, and you've been around it for a little while. How can you see the Cash Club helping businesses?
Well, the Cash Club's an important piece because it brings everyone together that can kind of build the knowledge of the people that are involved, but also be the go-to when they require different things. So if somebody requires financing for something, they might receive that advice from their accountant or their bookkeeper. They've got a point of contact, somebody who can link in with the other members of the group, the other partners, and create that sort of trusted group that can help them set up their cash to always be in a positive direction.
Very true, very true. And just finally, what can you bring to the Cash Club?
Like I hinted at a little bit earlier, so we work with our clients to help them understand what their cash is doing on a day-to-day basis, not just in terms of what's coming in and what's going out, which is obviously the most important part, but what's coming up in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 months, so that they're planning properly. They're setting aside the funds they need to, so they're not hit with big bills around BAS time, superannuation, all the ones that often take business owners unawares, and what leads to kind of a cash black hole in a lot of cases, because business owners are just thinking day to day and they need to have these bigger pictures in their mind. So we work with clients really closely. We establish some procedures so they understand what cash needs to be set aside for these things and how to measure that. And we work really closely with them to get them in a really well set up position to understand how much money they can take out for themselves, get them into a position where they can take out what they need as well, because that's often a piece that's left behind by business owners. They're just putting their own life in suspension and not really measuring what they need. They're just taking as they go and not realizing how much they're taking out of the business and what's falling short in other areas. And then they end up on the seesaw because BAS comes due, and so then they're throwing their personal funds back in. So we want to kind of really separate personal and business and get them in a position of understanding the cash, managing the cash, and never being caught short.
Very good. I love your how in your profile you talk about how you really helped the business, really got into the depth of the business to be able to help them save quite a bit of money, and that was simply through technology. But I understand about you're not just doing the books; you're actually looking at the business and you're advising from your point of view what they should and shouldn't do and what they can't do. How can people get in touch with you, Allison?
They can email me. So my email address is allison@carbongroup, carbon group.com.au. They can call the office, which is our Mount Waverley office. And sorry, you caught me a little bit unawares. Give me 1 second and I'll tell you what that number is. It is 9887-8751.
And you can also get to Allison through the Cash Club, thecashclub.com.au. Thank you very much for your time, Allison.